Correct, remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
Yes, sir.
On March 28, 2025, an officer was in the process of serving a capital murder warrant on a suspect in Harris County, Texas. While conducting a felony stop, the defendant, who was identified by his Texas ID card, pulled up on the officer's perimeter.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're diving into a real courtroom moment where things go from standard to stunning in seconds. Right out of the gate, we hear the judge drop the charge, interfering with a public servant during a high-stakes operation. The accused gives nothing away, but the tension is already rising. With a possible 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine on the line, the tone is dead serious. And when those rights are read out, it's not just procedure, it's the calm before a storm in this case. You're about to witness what happens when someone inserts themselves into a situation they might not fully understand. Asterisk, here's where things heat up. A capital murder warrant is being served in Harris County, Texas, and
I got out of their motor vehicle and began walking to the residence where the murder suspect was. The officer supervisor ordered the defendant to stop and stay right there. The defendant refused and continued to ignore officers while walking towards the residence. The officer supervisor ordered the defendant to step back multiple times and then grabbed the defendant and took him to the ground.
Him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was he the capital murder suspect?
No, Your Honor.
I live there.
Stop.
Oh, sorry.
I believe that they were in the process of serving a warrant on someone else at the residence, and that's when they came in contact with the defendant.
Okay.
Ordered him to stop. He refused to stop going towards the residence, Your Honor.
this man, identified by a Texas ID, suddenly rolls up to the scene. Now imagine, police are already on edge, surrounding a house, guns possibly drawn in. This guy starts walking straight toward it. The supervisor commands him to stop. He ignores it, commands again, still walking. The officer finally takes him down. Was he just clueless or challenging authority? Either way, this confrontation flips the whole.
Serve the warrant. What ended up happening?
Looks like after refusing commands, there was a brief struggle where he was detained.
Was the murder suspect there?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. It does not say. I have no further facts that show if the warrant was service was complete on the warrant or not, Your Honor, or completed at the time. I just believe they were in the process and believed him to be at the residence, and that's been this incident.
Situation on its head, and the court's about to unpack it. Asterisk at this point, confusion swirls. The question isn't just about what the man did, about who he is. Is he involved? Or simply at the wrong place, wrong time? The judge starts pressing for clarity. Was the suspect even there? Was the warrant already executed? The prosecutor admits there are no solid facts confirming any of that. The room fills with a sense of uncertainty. It's that classic courtroom moment, blurry facts, real consequences. And you can feel the judge starting to lose patience. This isn't about guilt.
Read it again, if you don't mind.
Yes, Your Honor. On March 28, 2025, the law enforcement officer and Squad 5 of the Houston Police Department's Gang Division served a capital murder warrant for a suspect observed inside a truck at a nearby residence. While conducting a felony stop, the defendant, who is identified by his Texas ID card, pulled up on the perimeter, got out of the vehicle, walked to the sidewalk, and began walking to the residence where the murder suspect was. The supervisor then ordered the defendant to stop and to stay right there. The defendant refused and continued ignoring officers and walking towards the residence. The supervisor ordered him to step back multiple times, but the defendant was once again ignored the officers. The law enforcement officer grabbed the defendant and made him bounce and the ground.
Okay, so now
Yet it's about whether there's even a case to argue. Asterisk now, the courtroom goes into rewind mode. The prosecutor reads the report again, and things still aren't adding up. First, the murder suspect was in a truck, then supposedly inside a house. Meanwhile, our defendant is walking toward the residence as officers bark commands. But was there interference or just miscommunication? This part lays out a major twist. The state's version of events is shaky, at best. You can feel the judge's disbelief growing with every word. When law enforcement can't cleanly explain a use of force, it's not just a red flag, it's a warning siren. Asterisk, here it is. The judge goes surgical. She breaks it down, cutting through the fog. Wait, she says, wasn't the murder suspect in a car, not in the house?
But
That
when you
contradiction-
first started, you said they were going to a capital murder suspect in a car.
Yes, Your Honor. That's what, so I was originally reading the summary, and I'm going straight from the agenda now, Your Honor. It looks like the suspect was observed inside a truck at a nearby residence.
So the suspect is not even in the residence. No.
Then they later state that that the suspect,
becomes the turning point. The entire charge starts to crumble, and then comes the line you won't forget. Be careful when you get into a pissing match. You're not going to win. Brutal honesty, right there in open court. This is where reality lands hard sometimes. Standing your ground in front of police isn't bravery, it's strategy gone wrong. The judge makes that crystal clear. As things wind down, the tone softens, but the lesson echoes loud. The courtroom quiets. The judge moves on.
that the defendant here was walking towards the residence where the murder suspect was. I'm not sure, Your Honor, I have nothing further.
I find no probable cause in your case. Just be careful, man.
Sir.
When you get into a pissing match with
I understand.
who's going to win?
They are. I understand.
No.
Yes, sir.
No fireworks, no chaos, just a sobering pause as the moment passes. But by now, the weight of what just happened has settled in. This wasn't just another case. It was a clash of authority, misunderstanding, and legal gaps, all under the pressure of a capital warrant. One thing's clear, even bystanders can end up in the courtroom spotlight. If you found this case as gripping as we did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.